Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 127 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. Hey, don't forget to subscribe so that when I post my latest episodes, they'll pop up when you open your podcast app. It helps us stay connected. And also, if you're loving these episodes, scroll down and give me a 5-star rating. It really helps in the podcast universe. All right, so I started this podcast just as COVID was taking off. It's over a year ago. It seems crazy how time flies. And we all have different reasons for the things that we're doing, right? And oftentimes, the things that we're chasing in life, we're really just chasing a feeling that we think we'll get from having that new car or job or balance in the bank account. Or it could be a feeling that we missed when we were growing up. I've talked a few times on different episodes about how I was raised. I have 2 parents that raised us in a happy, for the most part, home. They loved us and were wonderful parents. I mean, we're all pretty stable because of that. Now, the way we got approval and the way to be deemed worthy in our house was to be a good member of the religion that my parents were and are still deeply entrenched in. Now, there were lots of rules, and you had to color exactly within the lines, or you could be ostracized from everything and everyone you know. That was and still is a common fear for most people in this religion. Now, I don't mention the name because it really doesn't matter. It could be any religion, really. But here's the thing. I'm not really good at coloring inside the lines. So that probably didn't go over very well. And I quickly realized that that religion was not for me because I really like to think for myself. But because my worthiness was tied since childhood to external validation, a validation that was really doomed because I could never live up to my parents' expectations, I never truly felt worthy. I had trouble feeling worthy of the brilliant, gorgeous man I'm married to. I felt it was hard for me to feel worthy of this wonderful, abundant life I'm living. So I've kind of lived my adult life doing everything I can to be deemed worthy in my parents' eyes. And I was really successful early on, making quite a bit of money for a little small town girl, but still the worthiness didn't come. I also got a college degree, had my designs published in a magazine more than once, and won awards for them even. Still, the worthiness didn't come. I finally decided, okay, I'm going to become so wildly successful that there will be no doubt of my worthiness. And starting my podcast was part of that plan. But along the way, something happened. And I spent so much time working on mindset and working on myself that a light bulb finally went off. And I realized that I'm chasing being worthy when all along I've been worthy just because I was born. No one ever told me that, not in a way that I heard and really understood it anyway. I was chasing external validation that could come and go when the feeling that I needed was inside me the entire time. I just never saw it. And that feeling is inside you too. Now, Tony Robbins has been saying for a very long time, and I've been listening to him for over 20 years. He says everything you need is within you now. In fact, 20 years ago, I even chanted that at one of his seminars, but I never deeply understood it or felt it until I realized that what I was chasing was never going to be caught. And when I would catch it, like temporarily, like the money or the awards, as long as it's external, it would go away as easily as it came. That's true for everything. When you know you're worthy inside, no one can take that from you. When you create a life of value inside, no one can take that from you either. I was trying to change the world when what really needed to change was me. and my mindset about myself. I started focusing on how I can be a person of value and how I can add value instead of how I could get 1,000,000 listeners. And along the way, I've learned more and grown more personally to the point to where it no longer matters. Of course, I still want 1,000,000 listeners. Let's not be silly. But that is no longer the goal. Now, every week when I'm writing my Monday episode, I ask myself and the universe one question. How can I be a person of value, and how can I add value to that one person that needs it this week? Not 1,000,000, just one. So what are you chasing? Is it money? Is it success? Is it fame? Without fail, that thing you're chasing it because you think you'll feel more worthy or happier or more loved if you get it. And then when you get it and the feeling is fleeting, you'll be back on the chase again. You see, it's okay to have a lot of money. Let's be real. Life is more fun with it. But it isn't going to give you the long-term feeling you're chasing. So don't tie your worthiness or your happiness or your self-love to money, success, or achievement, because those are external things. Remember from last week, worthiness is our baseline. When your goal is to be a person of value, though, that's up to you, and every decision you make matters. So what does it look like to be a person of value? Well, it's going to look different for everyone, right? Maybe it means you have certain standards you maintain for your health and your home and your mindset. Maybe it means you set a goal of being the best version of you every single day. Maybe you decide to show up at work in a whole new manner where people are actually starting to notice and they're asking what's gotten into you. One thing I've started doing that's really effective is asking myself questions. I call them power questions. You can start with one and work your way from there. Now, I came up with 18 questions very quickly when I was doing this for myself, but I narrowed it down to 5 that I'll work with every week, and I'm actually working with an accountability partner with these questions. Maybe you could do the same, or maybe you could just have one really good question for Monday morning and one really good question for Friday morning each week. I'll give you a couple that I like because it works on the most important person in your life, which happens to be you. So for Monday, you could ask, what is the one thing I'll do this week that pushes me out of my comfort zone? I love that one. And then for Friday morning, you could ask, what is the one area this week that I caught myself with a negative thought and turned it around? These are so good because they're programming your brain, first of all, to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, which is not easy. And then it also makes you recognize negative thoughts and turn them around. How would that change your life? So my challenge to you this week is to dig deep and figure out what feeling you're chasing and see how you can feel that feeling without needing anything external. And then decide what being a person of value means to you. Sometimes it's as easy as asking yourself the right questions. And remember, being a person of value is very different from being worthy. You're worthy because you were born. That's our baseline. You become valuable by the decisions you make every single day. Now, I have a list of 18 really good inspiring questions in a PDF. If you'd like to email me, I'll be glad to send them to you. Heidi@HeidiDawson.com. I'll put that in the show notes. Now, go out there this week and be an example of what's possible to every single person around you. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.